Hello, I'm David, and today we're going to talk about studio lingo. This can get really confusing and is also really important to talk about because in the classroom you learn tons of technical terms, but in the real world, every technical term you learned has its own real world term. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you those real world words so you don't have to resort to Googling them like I did. 1. An inline pad. So the term pad is just a fancy way of saying something that is going to reduce the signal of an input. This is usually just a button on the microphone or on the preamp. However, some producers and engineers like to use inline pads because they mess with the signal a little less. Now the inline part of the inline pad, that just means it's plugged in between the microphone and what the microphone is being plugged into. 2. Cloud lifter. Simply put, a cloud lifter does the opposite of what a pad does. Now these are put in the same place between the microphone and what the microphone's being plugged into, but it increases the signal. 3. Patch bay. Now patch bays look incredibly complicated, but they actually make life so much easier. It's basically the place where the entire studio's inputs and other routing meet. This means that, if you want to put a compressor on a microphone, you don't have to run an XLR through it, all this other stuff. All you do is go to the patch bay and patch it in. This makes adding a compressor a 2-second job instead of, a 5-minute job. That being said, all patch bays are set up a little differently, so make sure you get to know the one in your studio. Now it's microphone time. 57. This is short for a Shure SM57. 414. This is short for an AKG C414B. 414 is a little easier. A 421. 421 is short for a Sennheiser MD421. And finally, a 121. This is short for a Royer R121. So what's the difference between a studio and a control room? A studio is where the musicians are and where the recordings are happening. A control room is where the board is and where the speakers are. So what's a DAW? This is again just fancy talk for a program that records or edits audio. Click out. Now this one is a little complicated. This involves someone holding up a device that's clicking up to a microphone and another device that is not clicking up to the speakers in the control room. The device that does not click is just listening to the device that is doing the clicking and making sure there's no phasing issues. And clicking out is simply the process of doing this for every microphone. Stem out. This means exporting each track of a session so that it's just one chunk of audio. This just cleans up the look of a song, makes it more organized, and makes it easier to see what's going on. DI box. This is just fancy talk for a direct input device. All this does is take a 1/4-inch jack and turn it into an XLR input. This is how you would connect, an electric bass to a microphone input. So I hope this clears up some of the terms you might hear in the real world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.